Okay, so the atmosphere around this is just electric right now.
It really is. There's a definite buzz.
I mean, after years of, all the noise, the controversy, and then just silence, Johnny Depp isn't just easing back into the spotlight.
Not at all.
He is absolutely commanding it. The amount of recent activity we're seeing, these international trips, these cryptic film hints, major new projects, it all feels very coordinated.
Right. It's not random.
Exactly.
Huh.
And for you, tracking this incredibly complex story, the momentum he's building is just, it's impossible to ignore. So what we need to do is figure out the intent. What's the real roadmap for this comeback? Our mission today is to cut through that noise. We're diving into a stack of sources covering everything from his public appearances to some deep studio speculation, all to understand the strategy here.
That's the key word, strategy. When we break down the source material, this news flow is anything but accidental. We're not looking at a chaotic series of events. We're seeing very intentional, measured steps. They're designed to maximize impact while, minimizing risk. I see this whole resurgence built on, say, 3 pillars.
Okay.
First, the emotional reemergence, then the strategic film choices, and third, something we call industry signaling.
Industry signaling. Let's define that really quick.
Right. So industry signaling is basically the deliberate nonverbal cues an actor or a studio uses. It's a way to test the market's appetite and investor confidence before making some huge official announcement.
It's the whisper before the shout.
Exactly. It's the whisper before the shout. Okay, so let's unpack all 3 of these, starting with that foundation, the emotional reentry.
Let's do it, because that emotional foundation, that fan loyalty, that's really the currency of a successful comeback, isn't it? The
Yeah.
sources point to a really high-profile visit to Japan.
A market that has always been fiercely loyal to him, yes.
But it's the time frame of this visit that I think transforms it from just a simple trip into, like, a strategic data point.
The detail that just leaps out is that this was Depp's first visit to Japan in 8 years.
8 years.
Yeah, think about that gap. In celebrity terms, 8 years is an eternity, especially for an actor who, used to rely so heavily on those international premieres and press tours.
So choosing Japan for this first big, high-profile return, that's a very calculated move.
Highly calculated. It's almost like high-level market research.
Right, it's proving that stability you need before you can make the bigger moves that are going to follow.
Yes, and the sources don't just describe them as standard meet and greets. They really emphasize this was an emotional thing, a genuine connection, an exchange of appreciation.
And that must have a professional benefit, too.
Oh, absolutely. That's precisely the point. After a period where his professional reliability was being questioned, you go to a known, loyal fan base. It stabilizes your public image instantly.
So it's a deliberate choice to ground the comeback narrative in something positive and genuine.
It says the core audience is still here, and they are passionate. An intentional appearance like that is never just personal. It's a critical prerequisite for the bigger moves that need massive audience buy-in.
And that successful emotional grounding, well, it lets you take bigger risks on the creative side.
Which brings us to the films.
Speaking of risks, the film choices are the next, and I think arguably the most fascinating piece of this puzzle. The sources are all focused on the huge announcement that he's producing an English language adaptation of The Master and Margarita.
And here's where it gets really, really interesting. This is the clearest signal of an intent to reshape his artistic legacy.
Explain that, because The Master and Margarita, it's a tough one.
It's one of the most complex, strange, and acclaimed novels of the 20th century, Mikhail Bulgakov's masterpiece.
Yeah.
It's notoriously difficult to adapt. I mean, it deals with surrealism, the devil visiting Moscow, literary intrigue.
Okay, but isn't producing a notoriously difficult adaptation also a bit of a safe move? If the film doesn't do well because the source material is too dense, he's insulated, he's just the producer.
Mm-hmm.
But if it succeeds, he gets all the artistic credit. Is this truly a creative risk in, say, the financial sense?
That is a very sharp observation, and it cuts right to the heart of the strategy. You're right. It might mitigate the direct acting risk if he doesn't star in it.
Yeah.
But selecting this project over some guaranteed, populist hit,
Yeah.
that signals a commitment to artistic legacy over commercial safety. And that message is for the high-level studio execs.
So it communicates, I am serious about filmmaking, not just starring.
Exactly. It elevates his perceived status immediately. He goes from being seen as a controversial star to a thoughtful auteur producer. And the mystery around the cast, will he star, won't he? that keeps the project buzzing for months.
And the sources also highlight diversification, which is crucial. We've got Master and Margarita, this complex, esoteric film, and then it's contrasted so sharply by the second project noted, Ebenezer, A Christmas Carol.
And that mix is vital. He shows he's not putting all his bets in one basket. He's showing flexibility, breadth. You have the art house production right alongside a classic mainstream holiday project that has proven audience appeal.
It's professional proof. He can balance the artistic ambition with commercially understandable choices.
That's it. It's about balance.
So now we have to address the elephant in the room. Or maybe the pirate ship on the horizon. No comeback roadmap is complete without talking about Pirates of the Caribbean.
Of course not.
The sources confirm he dropped a very cryptic clue about the franchise, and it immediately just sent fan excitement off the charts.
That cryptic hint.
Yep.
It was a masterstroke of industry signaling. It instantly created this high-stakes global suspense. Will he or won't he?
So the question for us isn't just if he will return, it's about what this whole sustained conversation tells us about the studio environment.
Right. Hollywood is tracking the market reception to every single move he makes. The fact that the sources are still covering this speculation means that dialogue is very much alive. The financial pressure to bring him back is immense.
For years, the conventional wisdom was that the door was shut, firmly. But now all this buzz suggests that maybe the operational difficulties for the studio.
You mean the financial reconciliation, the insurance liabilities?
All of it. That it's being weighed very heavily against just overwhelming audience demand.
Absolutely. The money is simply too big to ignore. That character, Jack Sparrow, is synonymous with billions in global revenue and IP value. This continued speculation. The public pressure test.
Can a franchise that huge really move forward without its most iconic character?
Especially when that actor is actively proving his current stability and audience pull, like he did with that Japan visit. The constant conversation keeps the leverage entirely on his side.
And that analysis brings us perfectly to the bigger picture. The Hollywood strategy and the comeback momentum. We're moving from the specific projects to the whole business context.
Yep, the macro view.
And the sources are suggesting that insider hints point to Depp actively building momentum for a full scale, a studio comeback. We're talking large, high-budget, studio-backed features.
This is where we look at resilience in practical terms. A post-controversy career means proving future reliability. For studios, it's all about minimizing the financial risk footprint.
How does he do that?
He needs to line up smaller, fully financed, independent projects, like his producer roles. He has to demonstrate that he can complete a film on time, on budget, and without any external disruptions.
So his current strategy is all about showing that the years of public scrutiny are behind him and that he is a stable commodity again. What does that mean for his future film choices?
It means striking a very careful balance. He has to choose projects that show off his undeniable acting depth that satisfies the artistic legacy goal, while at the same time stabilizing his market perception. He's actively moving past reacting to events by proving he's a serious long-term player.
So the key takeaway for the studios is, we're not just signing up for a shaky comeback vehicle.
No, you're signing up for the next stable chapter of a global star.
To really understand the player, though, you have to look at the personal insights, the things that often contradict the star image. And the sources gave us a really surprising nugget about his perspective on acting.
This one I found genuinely surprising, the fact that Depp admitted he has never watched one of his most acclaimed films.
That is profoundly interesting. I mean, most actors are so invested in seeing the final product, right? They review their performances obsessively. This suggests a deep detachment.
What's fascinating here is that detachment. For him, the performance is the process. It's the creation, the experience on set with other artists.
And once it's done.
Once that collaborative work is done, the footage belongs to the director and to the audience. It's like irrelevant to his artistic ego. This reinforces that whole reputation he has as an unconventional, unpredictable artist.
He values the doing over the being celebrated.
Precisely. It makes him incredibly relatable as a human figure. It grounds his choices in artistic impulse, not just calculated box office returns. It shows a deeply private side of a very public person.
And that unpredictable element is part of his brand. And a modern movie star has to manage that brand 24/7.
All the time.
And he's actively diversifying and managing it in real time. Beyond the films, the sources highlight his Three Hearts rum brand. The key detail here is that the brand explicitly links back to Pirates of the Caribbean nostalgia.
Which is very shrewd. It's reciprocal IP leveraging. He's not just selling rum. He's keeping the Captain Jack persona visible, profitable, and culturally relevant.
He's using his most famous persona as a foundational business asset.
And that maneuver significantly raises the financial cost for Disney to ignore him. I mean, even if studio doors were shut yesterday, he is still capitalizing on that deep fan connection, diversifying his income, and cementing that character's legacy outside of their control.
But with a massive brand comes massive management overhead, especially online. The sources also mentioned the very practical side of this, his public warnings about online scams impersonating him.
And that real-world angle is critical. A strong fan relationship is non-negotiable for comeback. These online scams can erode trust so quickly, making fans cynical.
So by issuing these strong public warnings,
He's actively protecting his audience, he's asserting control over his digital identity, and he's signaling to his fans that his direct engagement when it happens is authentic. It's a necessary step to rebuild and maintain that trust.
okay, let's bring this all back together for you, the learner tracking this story. What does all of this mean for the immediate future of Johnny Depp's career?
We've really seen a powerful, calculated re-entry. It's built on layers. You have the emotional return to Japan, which stabilizes his public image. You have the strategic and complex new films like Master and Margarita, proving creative depth.
And then the relentless pirate speculation, which is
Yeah.
fueling this whole movement towards a massive studio comeback. He's operating as an artist, a producer, and a sharp brand manager all at the same time. And successfully.
He's showing not just resilience, but strategic foresight. He's prioritizing artistic control and market stability through these independent projects. And by maintaining that unconventional distance, like not watching his own films, he also keeps that magnetic, unpredictable quality that makes him a star in the first place.
It's quite a strategy.
But remember, this narrative is still being actively written. The leverage is still building. With his career now demonstrably back on track and all these rumors swirling, the next chapter of Johnny Depp's story could honestly shock everyone again.
So what should we be watching for?
Keep a close eye on those official new film announcements for sure, but maybe, more importantly, those small cryptic hints about what might just sail back onto the screen.